Al-Man verse 1 until 3. Asmal Husna al-Adsam. Al-Muqat. As-Sakur. And Sunarawa. Meaning. Useful items. Sequence number 107. Consist. 7 verses. Revealed in Makkah, Makkiyah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ara'aita alladhi yukadhibu bid-din.
Do you know, people, who deny religion? If you want to know, please continue the second verse.
فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمَ.
For that is the one who drives away the first sign of a person is called a religious liar, that is, one who rebukes orphans. What are the behaviors that include rebuking orphans? Let's take a look at the following picture together. The example of rebuking orphans is making orphans sad. Other examples of rebuking orphans is insulting orphans and make fun of them, hurting orphans like playing with hands. Pushing until they fall is also an example of rebuking orphans. Being arbitrary towards orphans and threatening them is also an example of rebuking orphans.
وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ.
And does not encourage the feeding of the poor. People who are religious liars in addition to rebuking orphans are people who do not want to feed the poor, as illustrated below. There are people who see a beggar but don't care and pretend not to know. Spending all the property he has for himself regardless of others around him is also a religious liar.
Allah gave a warning to humans about religious liars called a liar religion. Because he has denied what has been ordered in religion. Like rebuke the orphans, do not want to give food to the poor. Allah will provide assistance in the form of facilities for servants who always help their brothers. Do not be stingy when there are relatives who ask for help in the form of material or energy. Allah gives rizqi to all his servants. Whether he believes or not. Whether he is obedient or renegades. The sustenance that is given by Allah is a mandate that must be used in the way of Allah. And in this sustenance there are also the rights of the poor, because religion has clearly invited people to be happy to help others and be people rahmatan lil alamin.
Asmal Husna al-Adsam. The Supreme. This natural disaster is one of the proofs of the majesty of Allah. Because everything in this world is subject and obedient to the command of Allah. When Allah Almighty has commanded to destroy, it will easily happen. The majesty of Allah cannot be reached by our sight and unimaginable in our minds. All the greatness of which we know is relative and nothing can rival His majesty. Allah does not need anyone. He who fulfill all the needs of His creatures. Don't idolize other creatures excessively. Rasulullah is enough as perfect figure in his attitude. Asmal Husna al-Muqat. The Sustainer. Allah fed and sufficient the rizqi for all his creatures. Rizqi and our wealth will increase and being abundant of blessings if we are willing to share with people around us, sharing for joy and sorrow. There are many ways to get rizqi, but look for halal rizqi, and invite people to also share other. Allah SWT will give rizki in various ways. There is not a single creature of Allah that escapes His favor. Asmal Husna Ash Saikor. The most appreciative. Allah accepts His servants' gratitude who are always be grateful to Allah. Allah promised to add His favor to His servants who are grateful, but instead Allah promised to give the big torment to His servants who are kufr. Be a clever and grateful servant of Allah. Don't be lazy in worship, start from yourself to do goodness for accepts Allah's favor. Ida bin Afsi. The life you complain about sometimes becomes the life that others want. Sunnah Rawatib Prayer. Prayer is the pillar of religion. The sturdier the pole, the less easily shaken. The form of our gratitude is to fulfill our obligation by perfecting our 5-time prayer with the Rawatib Sunnah prayer. Definition of Rawatib prayer. Rawatib words is ratib, which has meant by continuously. The implementation of Sunnah Rawatib prayer. Sunnah Rawatib prayer is Sunnah prayer which is done with Fardhu prayer. Sunnah Rawatib prayer is prescribed as an addition for the lack which may be happened in Fardhu prayer. Sunnah Rawatib prayer is Sunnah prayer which is done with Fardhu prayer. There is Sunnah Rawatib prayer which is done before Fardhu prayer, done after Fardhu prayer, and done before and after Fardhu prayer. Every time the Rawatib Qobliya is commenced from the time of entry of the Fardhu prayer to the Fardhu prayer. If the Rawatib Sunnah prayer is done before the Fardhu prayer, it is called the Qobliya Sunnah prayer.